21 days ago today, almost to the hour, I ended up in the hospital. And I had about an hour of that time in the hospital, maybe an hour and a half, where I genuinely thought, this is it. I'm not going to get out of here alive. This is the end. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. But more specifically, I've not done a video for the last 21 days. And leading up to that point, I was doing videos every single day. I loved doing daily videos here on YouTube. I was enjoying it. Didn't really care if I got views or not. It was just about filming and sharing every single day and creating that habit. The first week after being in the hospital, I needed that week to recover. I was still having a lot of weird symptoms with my body. I'll talk to you about all this in just a moment. But I needed that first week. But then the second week and now the third week, I realised that I was getting in my own head about getting back on video and overthinking it and putting these expectations that, I was doing daily videos and now nobody's now going to come back with a video out of nowhere and it's inconsistent. But this is what I need to say. More than anything, I don't have necessarily millions of followers across different platforms. And I think right now on YouTube, I'm getting like 100, 200 views per video. But on certain platforms, I get good engagement and I'm very, very consistent across these different platforms. But you know what this experience taught me? Not one person noticed that I suddenly stopped posting. Not one. I didn't have a single person reach out to me and say, hey Pete, are you okay? I've noticed that you've not been posting. And that has just been the biggest wake-up call ever, that nobody cares. And I don't mean nobody cares full stop. There's more to it than this. And I've had nothing but care and incredible people like family. I've been chatting to family every day the last few weeks. Well, the first 10 days after I ended up in the hospital, chatting to really good friends, had a lot of support and redefined a lot of what I really care about. I actually restructured my business as a result of this as well. I'll talk to you about that in then maybe another video. But in short, I just looked at my business. I'm like, I want to simplify this even more and make sure that this business can run without me. And that was one of my fears when I was in the hospital, was that, who's going to look after my clients? And that's a silly thing to have. It's amazing what comes up. But so let me tell you about what happened. I had moved house. I moved from my apartment in Chiang Mai to a house outside of the city. I did a video on, I just moved in. I was feeling amazing. I really was feeling great. Good energy, doing daily videos, working out every day, focused on my business. And with the house, it felt like the final piece of the puzzle, because my whole brand is like peaceful sales, and a big part of that is obviously living out in the countryside and finding this home that had real jungle vibes. And I moved out there. I went to view the place, and it was amazing. I'm like, this is the dream home for me. It's not a villa with a pool, but I don't really want that. I've had that before, and it's not my thing. I want more simplicity. But as I was viewing the place, there was a niggle telling me, this is not the right decision. You've already got peace. Stay in your apartment. I love my apartment in Chiang Mai. And there's a couple other things with the house, which I don't want to go into, that just didn't feel right. But I didn't trust my gut instinct in that moment, and I still agreed to move there. And it felt like a force. It felt like a push. And then everything was up in the air because I had to move, and I still had 2 months left on the lease in my apartment, which is 3 minutes away from here. And so moving out of my apartment here, and then there's a lot of paperwork in Thailand with moving, so that all became a bit of a stress. And so then I wasn't sleeping well. And I had about 2 or 3 nights in a row. I woke up at 1 a.m, but because I had energy, and I was like, okay, I'll just get up and work. So I woke up and worked until 5 a.m, and then I'll just get a couple hours sleep till 7. And then it was Monday 3 weeks ago. I woke up knackered. I was so tired. Didn't really eat that morning. Just had a little bit of fruit, and then went to get a coffee. And I sat there, and I remember having the first sip of the coffee, and I went, that's a bit strong. And within 10 seconds, I had this major anxiety, in my sternum, major anxiety. But I finished the coffee and thought, maybe it's getting a bit of anxiety from which I've had before, but it was a bit stronger than usual. Then I tried to take a nap downstairs in the house. After about 30 minutes, couldn't sleep, got off the sofa, and my heart rate went to like 160. I got a head rush and it didn't go away. And then I just went into, what the fuck is happening? I thought I was having a heart attack. I didn't have any pain, but just so much fear, and my heart rate was not coming down. Got myself together, probably shouldn't have done this, but then said, well, I don't think I'm going to have a heart attack because I've got no pain, just don't know what's going on, but this isn't good. So I managed to get myself to the hospital, and they did a load of tests. They're like, no, your heart's in perfect condition, which is good. And then eventually I calmed down, and they've done a test to see if I had a heart attack, which I didn't. And then after that, I've just felt like I've had this adrenaline through my body, and that lasted about a week. And I thought, this is just because of the move. So I woke up a few days later and I said, I'm moving back to my apartment. I'm going to move back, get back into I love my apartment. I'm happy there. It's my happy space. Got everything I need, everything systemized. And since then, getting back, I've changed my diet a lot, because on the health side, I've had some stuff going on for about 5 years. Funny enough, since 2020 when I got sick, had loads of stuff going on. And I realised that there's an undiagnosed thing that I've tried to talk to doctors about, but they don't really want to listen to me. But I changed my diet the last 3 weeks to pretend I've already got this thing, and I felt a lot better, which in essence puts me on what's called like a low histamine diet. So I'm on low histamine diet. I feel a lot better. And I just thought it was time to come back and do a video and not overthink it and not, apologise for the fact that I've been away for 3 weeks. But I think for me, what came up is the fact that none of this social media stuff really matters, okay? All that matters is family, close friends, and it's been such a journey over the last few weeks of having people that I never expected to have really been there for me. So thank you, you know who you are. I've had some people, not many, but one or two that I've spoken to that I thought I was close with, and you just start to find out who the real people are in your life and who the fake ones are. Let's just say that. So they're delivering some stuff to this coffee shop that I'm at. So we've got people back and forth here. And it's just put a whole new perspective on everything. Will I get back to daily videos? Probably, but it's all down to the habit. I enjoy the daily videos. As long as they're not a push, as long as I can sit calmly like this and do my thing, talk about sales, and I'm excited to share what I'm doing with the business, but I'll share that maybe tomorrow. So that's where I've been. Remember, if you're overthinking stuff, it makes sense, but it doesn't really matter because nobody really cares. Like literally, nobody cares. Nobody noticed on any platform that I stopped posting out of nowhere. Nobody, at all. So there you go. Make sure you put yourself first, keep it simple, and I'm sure there's some lessons in what I'm sharing, but I just wanted to do this as a personal share. Have a good one. See you tomorrow.